But when you enter food into macro counters like MyFitnessPal, they actually use this formula as well too. So now the beautiful thing about this is the apps to actually track how much you're eating. So you kind of just log in your food, like apps like MyFitnessPal, one of the most popular ones. You log in your food and it'll show you how many carbs, how many fats, how much protein. It'll kind of break down the macronutrients for you, so you can actually see how much you have eaten. You can also see how much you need to eat, or how much is required for you to kind of hit your day's goals, or to hit your goals for that day. So it's kind of a beautiful thing actually, once you know how to read food labels. Now I'm just going to give you another example here of some more food labels. Here I have some extra lean ground turkey. Then I also have some ice cream. So in the ice cream on the left, it's 180 calories, and I like how it actually says calories from fat here as well too. So for this one, they're actually telling you how many calories are coming from fat, and you can see there's 9 grams of fat. So there's roughly 80 calories, or to be precise, 81 calories coming from fat, and they've actually stated it right there. So that means from the 180 calories, 80 of those are coming from fat, and then the rest are coming from the carbohydrates and the protein. So if you were to multiply 21 by 4, you'll get the number of carbs. You'll get the calories from carbs, and if you were to multiply 2 by 4, you'll get the calories from protein. So that's how you can know how many calories are coming from where the calories are coming from. If you were to look at the ground breast turkey, you can see here it actually says the serving size as well too, which is 4 ounces. So there's 4 ounces per serving size, and per serving size there are 130 calories. So using this turkey as an example, if I want 1.5 servings or 6 ounces of this ground breast turkey, what I would do is multiply this calories by 1.5. So I would multiply 130 by 1.5, and I'll also multiply the corresponding macronutrients by 1.5. So I'll multiply the fat by 1.5, I'll multiply the protein by 1.5, and there's 0 carbs in this, so I'll be able to figure out how many calories are coming from protein. Now the ground turkey is a beautiful example because you can see this is a high protein source. You can see that the number of protein is quite high, 27 grams, and there's virtually 0 carbohydrates. You can also see, if you compare the number 27 to number 1.5, you can see that there's a lot more protein than there is fat. So it's a very low fat meal, versus say the ice cream. The ice cream is not exactly a low fat option. There's 9 grams per serving and only 2 grams of protein. So you can see the number of fat is a lot higher than the number for protein. By using these examples, I now hope you have a better understanding of food labels. You sort of know what to look for when you are reading a food label, and you understand a little bit more of how to make better decisions if you're shopping. So if you're to look for high protein, you want to make sure the number in the protein is a lot higher than maybe the fat. So if you're looking for more of a high protein meal, then you want to look for a higher number of protein, or you want to make sure that at least a lot of the calories, maybe 30% of the calories at least, are coming from protein. If you're getting about more than 30% or 40% of the calories come from fat, then I would like to say it's more of a high fat meal option. Now for carbs, it's a little bit different because everyone's carbohydrate requirements are based on the TDEE. So if you're a little bit more active, chances are you may end up eating more carbs. If you're a little bit less active, then you may end up needing less carbs. Now for those people who like to subscribe to like the Atkins diet or the keto diet, what happens is when you subscribe to these type of meal plans or eating options, you are removing a whole macronutrient. So that means you are eliminating carbohydrates completely. And if I was to use the case of ice cream, most of the calories from ice cream actually come from carbs. So that means that ice cream is actually a little bit higher in carbs than it is in fat, because most of the calories are coming from the carbs. Now, carbs are not bad. You just have to make sure you're eating them in moderation. If anything, what could be the problem is eating more of a higher fat diet, because if you eat more of a higher fat diet, your body has the ability to store unlimited amounts of fat. If you eat extra carbs, you can actually burn it off a little bit depending on the person, depending on your metabolism. And if there's excess, then it gets stored as fat. So what happens is if you end up eating way more high fat foods, like say for an example, this ice cream or the chips, that's when you end up gaining more weight because your body is not really using a lot of that fat for fuel. Your body prefers to use carbohydrates for fuel. So what you want to do is make sure you're eating an adequate source of carbs. Don't run away from carbs. Carbs are good for you. Your muscles need them. Your brain needs them. Your liver needs them. Carbs are good for you. If anything, pay attention to the fat content. And I know you may not want to hear this, but some of your favorite foods are rich in fat. After talking about reading food labels, after teaching you how to read food labels, after showing you a few different examples, I hope that this gave you a little bit more confident and you now feel like you know how to make better decisions. You know how to do your grocery shopping. You know what types of foods you should be looking for. And if you don't, you now know when you read the back of food or you read the nutritional label, you know if you should be putting that in your grocery bag or not. And if this was too complicated for you, you don't understand it, please send me a message. Let me know. I'll be more than happy to go over what it is you're struggling with, or maybe even show you a few more examples. But I want to keep this as simple as possible. And I think this is just as simple as I'm going to keep it. And I'm going to go into the next topic, which is how do you eat, or how should you eat?